Hello and welcome to RattleUp podcast. This is your host Chris, and this is the 5th episode of June, and also the last episode of June. Tomorrow is the first day of July, so I hope everyone had a good June. It was a quick month, and not a great month of Diamondbacks baseball, but yeah. So just wanted to mention, if you want to follow me on Instagram at ChrisSumner710 and Twitter at CSumner710. Okay, so just gonna move on into the first part of the podcast. I'm gonna be doing some questions. These are all questions that I got off of Reddit. I posted, and some people sent in all of these questions. Okay, so the big one from Matt RGRS12. He asked, are we buyers or sellers? And there's a lot of things to look at going into this question. It could definitely go either way, in my opinion, and I could see arguments for both. With the Diamondbacks sitting just at 500, and just not in any position to be contending for the division or really going deep in the playoffs. Of course, I'd like to say we're buyers, but I honestly think it's just about the deals we get. If someone offers a crazy good deal for Zach Greinke, we're gonna take it. If we see a player going for cheap, then we'll probably take it too. I see if we're not giving up any of our top prospects, then we'll probably do a deal for that player. But it really depends on the player and who's involved. Then moving into the next one from LV Night Owl. How will the Diamondbacks use Jake Lamb now that he is back from injury? Righty-lefty platoon with Walker. And so my answer to this question is it depends too, because if Walker keeps playing the way he's been playing, then I definitely think you need to keep Walker in, starting all the games. Recently, Walker's been on a cold streak, kind of like he has been a lot in this season, but okay. I honestly don't know what they're gonna do, because Lovello does some crazy stuff. In my opinion, they should just put a catcher out at first every day. But just kidding. Okay, so now that he's back from injury, I think he's gonna leave him in on the bench. He's just gonna be a pinch hitter. He's a good pinch hitter against righties. And if Walker needs a rest day or Walker's struggling, then I guess they can start putting them in to platoon, or just start a few games or start a series, depending on who's pitching. Okay, so the next one we've got is our minor league outlooks. So the draft is over earlier in the month, and there's 40 rounds of prospects to be drafted and lots of competitive balance and composition rounds. There's a lot of different things I could see with our minor leaguers. There's not a ton of great prospects, but we have a lot of prospects, and our draft definitely helped our case in getting our farm system out there. I think I saw we were around 11 or 12. So just got our best prospects, probably Jazz Chisholm, and with Corbin Carroll signing with us, our first pick in the draft. Definitely a good signing, in our team's on the rise, farm system wise. And then the next question by Nearby Glove: do you collect anything? I don't really collect anything a lot, but I do own a lot of baseball stuff, a lot of baseball cards, and yeah. So then moving into our next one is, what is our future with pitching? And as I mentioned earlier, the draft is we drafted a lot of players, but some of the ones I could see: Taylor Widener, Taylor Clark, John Duplantier. We got a lot of draft picks too that are signed with us, including Tommy Henry, who is who actually played with the Michigan Wolverines in the I can't think of the name for it, College World Series. He did really well in his game, 8 1/3 innings against the number 2 team in the country. So they ended up winning that game, but they did not win the whole thing. We drafted 5 straight pitchers in this draft, starting out with Blake Walston, Brendan Malone, Dre Jameson, Ryan Nelson, and Tommy Henry. Lots of pitching this draft, and so far Tommy Henry is the only one of those that hasn't signed with us yet, but he should be signing pretty soon. Since he just got done with the College World Series, and his college career is most likely over now that he has also been drafted. And there's just one more question. Does Greinke need to be plugged in nightly, or is it solar powered? I feel like he's probably needs to be plugged in. If solar powered would be really efficient out here in Arizona, maybe that's the reason he signed with a bunch of southern teams recently in the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, but yeah, so that's going to be it with the Diamondbacks questions for today, and that's the end of the mailbag segment. So now we're gonna go through with a quick schedule update for the Diamondbacks. Since it is the end of the month, I'm just gonna do a recap of all the series. So this month they have 2 wins against the Mets, winning that series. They lost 2 games and won 1 game against the Dodgers. And then they went on to sweep the Blue Jays, win 1 against the Phillies, and 2 against the Phillies, losing 1. 2 against the Nationals, and splitting that series 2-2. Getting swept by the Rockies, getting almost swept by the Giants 2-1, and then winning the Dodgers series 2-1. And then splitting the series with the Giants most recently. Just gonna go over the last week of games. So last game of the Giant series, the 3 in the Dodgers, and the last series of the 4 with the Giants. Okay, so we have the Diamondbacks walked off the game against the Giants 3-2. Tim LeCastro hit a walk-off single in what inning was that? In the 10th inning. So 3-2, 7 hits for the Diamondbacks, 4 for the Giants. Merrill Kelly went 6 strong innings with giving up only 2 runs, and then Andrew Chafin, Yohan Lopez, Greg Holland, and Matt Andriese all threw scoreless innings. Anderson pitched for the Giants, and then giving up 2 runs in 6 innings. Maranta gives up no runs in 2 innings. Dyson scoreless inning, and then Melanson comes in and gives up the 1 run in a third of an inning to end the game. In this game, Tim LeCastro with 2 RBIs and Christian Walker had 1. Those are the only runs that were scored in this game. Christian Walker had 3 hits, Escobar 2, and LeCastro 2, so every single one of our hits came from only 2 different players. Kind of crazy that the 3 players with all 7 of our hits, but okay. Moving into the first game of the Diamondbacks series against the Dodgers. This game was a battle of the aces. Kershaw against Greinke. Starting off with Greinke giving up 3 runs in the first inning. So did Kershaw, but Greinke only gives up 4 runs in 6 innings. And then Chafin, Hirano, Lopez, and Holland all throw scoreless partial innings, and McFarland gives up 1 run in 2/3 of an inning of work. Diamondbacks' 8 runs in this game were produced by Christian Walker with 3 RBIs, with a home run in the first inning. David Peralta with 1 RBI, Nick Ahmed with 1, LaCastro with 2, and Greinke hit a home run to drive in himself, and that's it. So Kershaw pitched for the Dodgers 6 innings, 4 runs. And then Yemi Garcia goes a scoreless inning, and Chargos goes a third of an inning scoreless. Dylan Floro gives up 4 runs in only 2/3 of an inning. Really tough outing for him. And then the next game ends the 2-game winning streak. The 3-2, the Diamondbacks lose this one. Robbie Ray pitches, so 6 1/3 inning. Longer outing from him, which is what, of course, you want to see. Considering he hasn't been going very long recently. Only 3 runs, so a quality start from him, moving his ERA down to 3.9. And then Matt Andriese and TJ McFarland both pitched scoreless innings, and Ross Stripling starts the game off for the Dodgers, giving up 2 runs, only 1 earned in the 3 innings pitched. Those are the only runs they'll score. Kelly, Urias, Baez, and Jansen all throw scoreless outings. And the 2 RBIs from this game both came from Peralta. Peralta getting 2 hits in this game, and wasn't enough. 3 runs is a good number to hold the Dodgers to, but especially in a hitter's park, but still not great. Then in the next game, 8-2, the Diamondbacks win the series against the Dodgers and the game. Taylor Clark with 5 innings of 2-run baseball. Andrew Chafin, Crichton, and Bradley all throw scoreless outings. And for the Dodgers coming in, Gonsolin, Ferguson, Yemi Garcia, Chargos, and Martin pitch for the Russell Martin pitch for the Dodgers. Gonsolin goes 4 innings, giving up 6 runs, 4 earned. Ferguson goes 2 innings, 1 inning, giving up 2 runs, 1 earned. So a lot of errors for the Dodgers in this game. 3 errors, a lot of unearned runs. Jock Peterson had 2 errors, and Chris Taylor had an error. So the 8 runs in this game, produced by Escobar with 3, Vargas with 2, Peralta with 1, LaCastro and Dyson also had 1 each. Dyson was the hit leader in this game with 3 hits. And, so then this was an early game at 12:40 because gotta go travel over to San Francisco, play in the Bay for a 4-game series against the Giants, in which they split 2-2. Overall, a close series. That couldn't really tell which way it was going to go, except for today. But in this game, Alex Young actually. Alex Young with his first appearance and his first MLB start, getting his first win in this game. 5 innings, only giving up 1 run and 3 hits. And then Hirano, Chafin, Lopez, and Holland go scoreless outings to shut out the Giants, only giving up 1 run. And then for the Giants, not many other pitchers were able to pitch without incident. Maranta and Melanson both had scoreless innings. However, in 5 1/3, Bede gave up 2 runs, Gott gave up 2 runs, and David Rodriguez also gave up 1 run. So moving into the scoring recap, Carson Kelly had 2 RBIs with a home run. Nick Ahmed had 1 RBI with a home run. Eduardo Escobar